Alright, so I'm going to make a quick video walking everybody through the G Portal dashboard. I'm doing this because I'm getting a lot of feedback from everybody. Well, why didn't you add this? Well, why don't we have this? And it's kind of obnoxious. So I'm going to explain it in this video, and if you nag the crap out of me, I'm going to send you this video and you can sit through the whole thing and watch it and understand what we're looking at as system admins. So these are our settings, right? I'm on my basic settings page. This is inside G Portal. This is not really a how-to video. I'm just explaining to everybody what we have going on and what is or is not available to us right now and why some of us aren't using some of these fancy settings that you like. All right, starting out, server settings. Obviously, we get to name our servers. So in my case, Rapture OG Rustfather, 2 times bi-weekly, solo, duo, trio. Can't have special characters in these names. If you got special characters, you're going to have a bad time. Password. This is if you want to password protect your server. If you're one of these dudes that went out and bought a custom server and you're one of the first ones on the internet and you put a password, you're a tool, okay? I'm just going to say it for all of us. You're a tool. Open your server up so people can play. You're like bogging down the system and you're like pushing players to other places. Don't be a tool, all right? Platform. I'm Xbox only. Sorry, PlayStation kids. Nothing personal. It's just I want to be able to talk to my players in game, so I set mine to Xbox only. Welcome message. This is where you get to, tell people what you want them to see when they first log in. So in my case, welcome to Rapture. The Rustfather is always watching. Except when you do that. That would be gross and weird. So, you can throw in a little bit of humor for your players there. First time join message. Just join, so I always make sure players know. No keyboard, mouse, or isn't allowed. We'll ban you if you do it. Play fair. I'm a hypocrite here. I got Zen, but I turned mine off once we finally got this. I just got tired of getting dunked on by 10-year-olds. So, yeah, no more cheating if you're playing on my server. Rage quit. So anytime somebody instantly turns off their Xbox, I have a nice little thing here that it tells the rest of the server, that you rage quit, just so you know. All right, so admin broadcast. I have this turned on because I want people to know what I'm doing as admin. That way you guys know that if you're on my server, I'm not doing something sketchy. You know where I'm at. You know what I'm doing. You don't got to ask a lot of questions. It's not like, well, oh man, he's giving stuff to everybody else. No. If I give something to everybody, you'll see it. It'll be broadcast. Everybody knows what I'm doing all the time. Enable whitelist. I don't really know or understand what this is because realistically, you just set people as VIP. I think once you have it, you can just do it as, a custom list, kind of like custom boot commands, which I covered in another video. That way you have like a set of whitelist stuff. I'm not trying to monetize mine. For the dudes who want to monetize it, great, good on you, have fun. But for right now, these things are so buggy, man. I'm not asking nobody to pay to join my server. I just want people to jump on, have some fun. Player report cooldown. I don't want you guys spamming me, so you get to tell me that somebody's cheating 5 times in a row. If the same kid keeps cheating on you 5 times in a row, stop pushing. Like, go find something else to do. Go get in a boat, go out in the water, do what you got to do, but, don't nag me. Again, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not doing this full time. This is just fun for me. All right, map presets. Everybody asks, well, how come we didn't get this map? Look, there's a very limited number of maps. We don't have custom seeds. You guys should already know this is Rust console. This is not PC. We don't have all the features yet. So here it is. I'll go through it kind of slow. These are the maps that we can choose from. It's kind of limited, but it is what it is. Personally, I'm using 931. That's what I got on my server. I went with that. I went with that for a reason. Bottom island here, bottom left corner of the map, I use it as my island. So if I want to do goofy, stupid stuff, put up a small event and invite everybody to it, that's where I'm doing it at. So this is part of the map presets. You do not have to use a map preset. What that means is that you are going to get a random map when you refresh your server. I prefer to know which map I'm going to be on, so I can kind of pick what the layout is. To each their own. Do what you want to do. So my map settings, map seed, you'll notice it says 931. Well, guess what? I'm on map 931. At some point, I expect this to be a lot better, where people are going to be able to see it. You'll be able to do more stuff. Max players, I'm default to 100. I'm not going to play with that setting. World size, I'm staying at a 3K map for now. It is what it is. And then let's talk about land monuments real quick. So whatever you put in here has a chance to spawn on the map when you refresh. It does not mean you are guaranteed. So you're going to see admins take stuff out that they don't want. So if I don't want HQM quarry, I'll take it out so that other things have a better opportunity to spawn. Same thing with offshore monuments. That's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why we're handling it the way that we're handling it, is because these are not guaranteed. Okay, so let's keep scrolling here. World settings. This is where things start to get buggy. So like, we can populate ribs if we want them out in the game. We can populate rowboats. What I found, at least for right now, at the beginning of all of this, I've set this to 0. I don't want to add any new reasons for the servers to crash. They're already unstable. Gportal sold out of servers. There were admins that wanted servers in the US who couldn't even get them. I got lucky. I got one of the last ones. I ended up with an LA server. I did not mess with decay settings because realistically, I don't have rowboats automatically spawning, and I wanted to keep that default. Radiation stability. Let's see. So radiation. Obviously, I want to keep radiation in the game. If you turn this into creative mode, then what's the point? At least in my opinion, I want to keep the server to where you're still actually playing Rust. I don't want to change it too much. Now, day length, I increased mine up to 60, so you get 60 minutes worth of daytime. Night length, I shortened that down to 5. Nighttime is so dark, I wanted to get rid of it. But realistically, you got to do something with the sun in the sky. I wasn't a fan of, daytime the entire time. So I still wanted a night cycle, but I did shrink it down to 5 minutes. NPC think, NPC navigation, and NPC ignore players. You'll notice I've got think and navigation on, so my NPCs are active, they're in the game. But I'm not going to set it to ignore players. If you set it to ignore players, well, what's the point of having the NPCs in the game? Junk pile spawn chance. So by default, this is 0.1. I've gone ahead and increased it because I'm running a 2-time server. Bear population. So the default for all the animals is 2, by the way, just so you know that. When I first made my server, I set that to 10. It was kind of nutty. There were bears everywhere. I might do it as a gig, kind of towards the end of wipe. I'm going to, maybe drop everyone an M249 and a couple stacks of ammo, and then we're just going to ramp up bear population so everybody has something to do the last day of wipe for fun. Boar population. You've got to keep some level of boar population because it's important to the NPC missions. If you've been running any of the stuff, it's at the stables, you know that you got to have the boar population. It's a great way to get scrap early game. Chicken pop. I took this to 0. Chickens don't really have a purpose in the game. Yes, I know they're a food source, but I'm running a 2-time server. It's not that hard to get food to begin with. And anything that you can do to lighten the server right now helps the servers run more stable. I've had a lot of stability issues on my server. Once I started taking stuff out, I started doing a lot better. Stag population. I'm not a fan of the deer. I don't really care for them, don't really like them. I think they're a pain in the butt. But, again, just like the boar population, you need it for an NPC mission, so I've gone ahead and kept that in. Wolf population. Well, why would I keep wolf population? Well, because everybody likes wolf headdress. The neat thing is now that we're on a 2-time server, if you kill a wolf, you've got a chance of getting 2 wolf skulls. So it's kind of nice to keep that in there. Immortal server. I'm not making you immortal. If you want to be immortal, go play Minecraft. PvE. I'm not doing it on my server. I get it if some people want it. Not for me. Infinite ammo. Not a chance. You can already do that in Rust vanilla servers. You can go on and do infinite ammo and all that other fun jazz. So if that's what you're looking for, knock yourself out. Player max health. I'm not going to play with this setting just because I don't want the lag from it right now. In the future, I'm probably going to crank this up so players have a little more life and battles last a little longer. Max starting health. I'm not making this 100. I want you to still play the game. I want you to be able to go out, grind for stuff, get stuff done, and be able to enjoy it. Next, we're going to get into the important one, which is max team size. So the way Rust manages this is goofy, right? What I'm telling the server is that we're only going to allow 3 people to be on green team. When you're on green team, you need to create a team, then place your TC, and now everybody that's on that team is now part of that TC, which means any door locks that you put down on your doors are tied to that TC, and it limits to those players only. So what that means is we cannot, as admins, prevent Zergs from coming to the servers. We can limit it, but we still have to know if people are teaming up. So I'm running a trio server. If I catch people running around in squads of 6 or 12, you're going to have a bad time because I'm going to spawn in a bunch of C4 and I'm just going to rain it on your base, or I'm just going to walk through your base with an M249 and an inventory of freaking ammo. And when I do it, if I catch you, I'm just going to leave your stuff sitting on the ground so other players can have their stuff back. Because, you know, I'm admin. I don't really need your stuff. I can just spawn in what I want. But, yeah, so we limit building authorizations to the max team size. We limit turret authorizations to the max team size. So limit team locks. In other words, you can't use code locks. And when you can't use code locks for a reason, it's to make sure that we keep the size where we want it. So that's kind of how that works on the back end. Okay, starting items. All right, I'm not setting it to no starting items. What that means is you spawn naked with nothing, trying to keep the game, you know, close to the original. Builder's Paradise. Again, if that's your jam, play on a server that is a Builder's Paradise and you can free build whatever you want. Enable target practice items. I don't really want to do that on my server, just not for me. Free crafting. I'm not doing that. But, you know, half the fun of Rust is earning your BP so you can actually build stuff. It's what separates players who have put in the grind from people who haven't put in the grind. For my servers, I want everyone to be able to put in the grind and still be able to play the game. I'm already making it a 2-time server. If you can't figure out how to get loot, and you can't figure out how to get stuff with a 2-time server, message me. I'll teach you how to play the game, because you're obviously doing it wrong. It's not that hard to find stuff. Unlock all blueprints. I'm not doing that on my server, and I'll tell you why. Because again, blueprints make the game fun. It's what, you know, gives you progress to the game. If you want something where you get to have top tier guns and you can make whatever you want, and you want that, go play Warzone. You get that by default. You spawn into a lobby, you have unlimited bullets, you have everything else. That's not what Rust is. Rust is a little different. So, you know, it is what it is. It's just the world that I'm playing in, and it's my server, so I get to make up the rules. You want to do it, spend the $240 a year, make your own server, and we're all good. Instacraft. I did turn this on because, you know, I'm a bitch. And I felt like having Instacraft so everybody could Instacraft, just so that way you're not having to, you know, sit around. Workbench override. I'm not doing it. Again, it's a 2-time server. If you can't get to level 2 or level 3 table, you need to learn to play a game. So message me. I'll teach you to play a game. Stackable size scale. So this is how people are holding like stacks of 3, 4, 5,000 items. The reason I'm not turning it on is because it ties over to your TC. I don't want it tied to your TC because I don't want people building these massive chonker bases. There's a reason for that. We've all played Rust for a while now. You know, especially if you're on old gen, if you run past something that's, you know, larger than a monument, your game is going to lag spike. Right now, when I'm making this video, this is a couple days into custom servers. They're already crashing. They're already having trouble. So I'm not going to let people make ridiculously large bases. It's only going to add to the problem. Right now we're focused on server stability. In the future, I'll play around with that setting. But for, you know, it's a no for now. Events. Here's where we get to play with the event settings. It's very limited, guys. We can't sit there and do a million things. There's some stuff that's in command line. That's for a separate video. I'm not going to get into all of it. But we don't have a whole lot of things that we can do. Enable helicopters to target players. Obviously, I still want heli to shoot back at you. Otherwise, what's the point? I don't want heli to just be flying around handing out free loot like the Candyman. We can increase the bullet accuracy, and we can scale the damage. I've opted to leave mine set to default for now, again, because we're focused on server stability. Bradley. I definitely want Bradley on my server, so it's turned on. You'll notice I changed mine down to 30 minutes. It's usually once an hour is when Bradley respawns. Again, 2-time server, twice the frequency. So I just did that, you know, in accordance with that. Lock crate time to unlocked. I wanted to set that up to where it was faster. 15 minutes is too long. 5 minutes is going to be a little too short. I split the difference. I went with 10. You don't like it? Don't jump on my server. You like it? Jump on my server. You really don't like it? Buy your own server. Do what you want. But for me, 10 minutes, it's reasonable. Also, when you run large oil, you know, if you're playing reasonably fair and you're not in God mode running around with a jackhammer like I did the other day, you know, you're going to want the crate to take some time anyway. Plus, people like the chance to have counters. You want counters. It's player engagement. Gameplay. Demolish Hammer. I've got that set up. I'm still playing with it. I kind of like it. It's got some drawbacks, but, you know, it is what it is. Bullet damage, bleed damage. I left those set to 1. Here's where I am having a little bit of fun. I'm playing around with arrow damage. I've increased to 1.5. I like 1.5 because it sort of incentivizes people to play with prim gear. I like playing with prim gear. But the other thing is when you first join a server, 4 days into the white, you actually have a chance at being able to defend yourself. We've all been there. You join a server, you're rocking prim gear, and dudes are pulling up full metal AK. So to balance it out, I went ahead and increased arrow damage. Same thing for melee. Look, if it's 4 or 5 days into a server and you're rocking metal gear and somebody comes up and hits you with a rock, you deserve to take 1.5 times the damage. You shouldn't have let them get that close. That's on you, not me. All right. So yeah, that's the settings that we got, guys. So it's very limited. We can't do everything yet. I'm sure it'll get better, but it is what it is for now. So I hope that answers your questions. If it doesn't, tough shit.